Okay, I'm going to show on this video how to rearrange your data to help you do the chi-squared matrix, and then on a separate video I'll show how to use the numbers from that matrix to actually find chi-squared with the formula. So I'm back on my page with the scatter plot where all my data was originally, and I want to highlight columns A, B, and C and copy them, so Control-C, and go to a new worksheet and paste them into that new worksheet. I'm going to rename this worksheet chi-squared. This is where you're going to be performing your chi-squared calculations. All right. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is get this data to be in a matrix where, for GDP, which is my x variable, I've broken it down into low, medium, high. And for maternal death rate, which is my y variable, I've also broken that down into low, medium, and high. So you might want to start by laying out that table for yourself. And ultimately, what you're trying to do is come up with the breakdowns for what is low, what is medium, and what is high, and then fill in the number of countries to this table for each category. So let me just zoom in a little bit. It'll make it easier for you to see. Ultimately, that's what you're trying to accomplish. So the first thing I want you to do to figure out your breakdown of low, medium, and high is to sort this data. Right now, my data is organized alphabetically by country, which is not very helpful. I want you to select A, B, and C columns. You must select all three at the same time. And go to Data and Sort. And here we are going to sort by your X variable, which for mine is GDP, from smallest to largest. When it does that, it keeps the country together with the correct data and rearranges all of the data so that now my X variable is all in order from lowest to highest. Right? That's helpful because now I can separate it into thirds, all of my data, and figure out the cutoffs based on that. So if I separate my GDP into thirds, I'm looking at approximately 35 to 40 countries per category because I have 113 countries on my list. So I'm going to scroll down to the 35 region, 35 to 40, and look for a good cutoff for my first category, which is going to be low GDP. And somewhere in that region here, I see that 20,000 looks like it's going to be a good cutoff for low GDP. So from 0 to 20,000, I'm going to go into my matrix where I'm typing this and indicate that low GDPs are from 0 to 20,000. Medium GDPs are going to start from this 20,000 and go to, I'm going to scroll down to the 75 region and sort of look for a decent cutoff in that area. It looks like between here and here, it hits 200,000, and that would be a good cutoff for the next third of the data. So medium is going to go from 20,000 to 200,000. And then high GDP is going to be above 200,000, and that's for the last third of the data. So 200,000, I'll type it in like this, above 200,000. Okay, so that determines the three categories for my GDP with the data evenly dispersed between the three. And then I'm going to reselect all the data ABC again and sort it by the Y variable, maternal death rate, and do the same process. So I'm going to scroll down this list of my Y values until about the 35th country and find a decent cutoff. So it looks like here between 25 and 26 for my data would be a good cutoff for low maternal death rate. So 0 to 25. And then the next one is going to start from 26 and go down to about, let's see, I'm looking for something in the 75 area. How about 100 as the cutoff there? It's the 75th thing on the list. So 26 to 100. I don't want to also include 25 in this category because I need to know where do I put the countries that are actually exactly 25 and where do I put the ones that are 26, which means high is going to be above 100. So anything that's actually exactly 100 is going to go in the medium category. All right, and then all we have to do is tally up the number of countries that are going to be in each of these regions. To do that, the easiest way, I think, is to reselect all of the data, sort it again by your X variable from smallest to largest. And then I'm going to use a color system to section off the three groupings by GDP. So here's my first group of GDP, the low GDP countries. I highlighted them all yellow. And I know that that ended at Bolivia because that's the first one that's, or the last one that's below 20,000, right? My next cutoff is 20,000 to 200,000. So I'm going to scroll down to there and change the color to, let's say, this light blue. So I got my yellow grouping, that's low, my blue grouping, that's medium, and then my final grouping of high GDP, and we'll make that one this pink color. I know that the maternal death rates are all scattered now, so this is where you actually have to do some counting. So all of the yellow countries are low GDP. That means they're going to be somewhere here in this row of the table, my matrix table. I just have to count up out of those yellow countries how many have low maternal death rate, how many have medium, and how many have high. So low maternal death rate means between 0 and 25. So I'm going to scroll down this list of yellow countries and look for how many are between 0 and 25, which appears to only be this one right here. So that's a easy category. How many are in the medium range? So 26 to 100. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and then after that I'm out of this region. So 10 go here, which means that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 countries that are in the high maternal death rate category that are low GDP. And then I go on to do the same thing for my blue countries, which is the medium GDP countries. I'm going to count the ones with low maternal death rate. That was 0 to 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me just look at something. I think I might have skipped one. Yeah, it did skip one. It's actually supposed to be 13. So 13 are here. Looking for the medium in the blue. So that's between 26 and 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And then in high maternal death rate in the blue countries are going to be above 100. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let me compare this against my previously done answers so I can make sure that that's correct. Yes, 13, 16, and 10. Okay, and then you'll do the same thing for your final category, which here are my pink countries. And I'm going to go skip ahead because I've already done this. And I know that the answers are going to come out to 24, 10, and 4. Once you've got that filled in, that's the matrix that you're going to use for chi-squared. I do think it's important to calculate the totals to make sure that it adds up to the right amount. And you're also going to need the totals for your expected table, which you're going to do separately, other video. So let's get the totals here by going to formulas, auto sum. It's automatically going to add up that row. And then I'm going to drag that formula down so it does the same thing for the other two. And then here I'm going to do auto sum, and it's going to automatically add up that column. I'm going to drag it over so it does the same thing here. And then I need to make sure that they add up to 113 because that's how many countries I have. So yours needs to add up to 100 in that bottom right-hand corner. All right, so this is the matrix that we're going to use for chi-squared, and I'll show you in a separate video how to actually calculate that.